while playing in the park. Instead of returning it to its rightful owner, he decided to keep it without thinking about the consequences. Timmy spent his days enjoying the town's bakery treats and new toys, unaware of the worried faces of the townspeople searching for their lost valuables. The coin once used to help a sick child was now gone, causing distress among the villagers. As days passed, Timmy's once cheerful demeanor faded, replaced by feelings of guilt and unease. One day, he overheard the baker muttering about rising ingredient costs. He realized that if he returned the coin, he could help the townspeople, including his dear friend Mr. Baker. Timmy thought long and hard about how to make things right again. He remembered an old tale his grandmother used to tell him. A small act of kindness goes a long way. Gathering all his courage, he returned the coin to its original owner, a widow named Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green was overjoyed to see her coin again, and with it she was able to buy the necessary medicine for her sick cat. The villagers celebrated Timmy's kindness, and he felt their appreciation deeply. From that day on, Timmy learned to think about consequences first. Timmy became more responsible and caring, always considering the impact of his actions before making decisions. He helped Mr. Baker run his bakery, and in return learned many valuable lessons about life. As he grew older, Timmy shared his story with other children in Kindville, teaching them to think about consequences first. They learned that being kind and honest, even when it's difficult, can make a positive difference in their lives and the lives of others. The children practiced what they learned, showing kindness towards each other and solving problems together with patience and resilience. Kindville was a happier place thanks to Timmy's wisdom, and the legacy of his story lived on for generations. Years passed, and Timmy grew into an old man with a wise smile. He continued to share his story and wisdom with the children of Kindville, inspiring them to be kind, honest, responsible, patient, and resilient problem solvers. When Timmy finally passed away, the villagers mourned their beloved teacher. But they also celebrated his life, as his story had spread far beyond Kindville and touched many hearts. The lessons he taught would continue to guide generations to come. Today, as you sit in your kindergarten classroom, I hope you remember Timmy's story and the lessons he taught. Think about consequences first. Be kind, honest, responsible, patient, and resilient problem solvers. Let his legacy live on through your actions. Timmy's tale reminds us that small acts of kindness can make a big difference in the lives of others. It shows us the importance of thinking about consequences first, being kind and honest, practicing patience and resilience, and always striving to solve problems with responsibility. Let Timmy's story inspire you to be a better person and create positive change in your own life and the lives of those around you.
Moral and life lessons. Hands are for helping, not hurting. On the sunny plains of Farmer Jack's farm, little Mia stood at the fence watching as the animals played, her heart filled with joy, but also curiosity about their world. One day, as she ventured into the barn, Mia noticed a piglet trapped beneath some hay bales. She thought to herself, "I must help." Gently and carefully, she moved the hay bales aside and freed the piglet, earning smiles from the other animals. Mia became friends with the animals, spending her days playing with them in the meadow. One day, she noticed a lamb had lost its way. She guided it back to its mother's side. As the days passed, Mia began to help Farmer Jack with chores like feeding the animals. She discovered that honesty and responsibility were key to maintaining harmony in the barn. One morning, while gathering eggs, she accidentally broke one. She confessed to Farmer Jack and promised to be more careful. He praised her honesty and reassured her that everyone makes mistakes. One of the calves had hurt its leg and needed help walking. Mia patiently guided it around the farm as it healed, showing compassion during this difficult time. During a storm, the old barn door blew open, allowing water to flood into the barn. Quick thinking, Mia gathered all the animals and led them to higher ground before the barn was ruined. As night fell, Mia's kindness and helpfulness had earned her great respect among the animals. They even learned to play musical instruments under her tutelage. The animals loved spending time with Mia and looked forward to her stories each night before bed. She told them tales of courage, friendship, and the importance of helping others. One day, a scout from a nearby village saw Mia's kindness and the harmony among the animals on Farmer Jack's farm. They invited her to come live in their town and share her lessons with others. Mia moved to the village and continued teaching others about kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. The village thrived, becoming a beacon of peace in the land. Decades passed, and Mia's teachings had become a tradition. The children learned to help others and live together in harmony, just as she had taught them on Farmer Jack's farm long ago.
Moral and life lessons. Invite others to play. In the heart of a bustling city, there was a beautiful park where all the neighborhood children loved to play. One sunny Tuesday, a new child named Sam moved into the area and didn't know anyone. As he walked through the park, he saw a group of kids playing tag. Sam felt shy and unsure, but he really wanted to make friends. He watched as the kids played tag, laughing and running around. One child, named Lily, noticed Sam standing alone and invited him to join them. Sam eagerly joined in the game, but he didn't quite understand how to play tag yet. Lily helped him understand the rules, demonstrating and encouraging him. The other children were patient and kind with Sam as they played together. With Lily's help, Sam quickly learned how to play tag. He ran around the playground, laughing with his new friends as they chased each other. Sam felt so happy and grateful that he had finally made some friends. One day, as they played, the children decided to build a huge sandcastle together. They gathered sand and buckets and started constructing. However, it was not easy to work together, especially when it came time to decide who would be in charge of which part. The children began to argue, each wanting control over their own special part of the sandcastle. Sam felt frustrated and upset because no one seemed to listen to him when he tried to suggest a solution. Sam took a deep breath and stepped away from the sandcastle for a moment. He sat on a nearby bench and closed his eyes, trying to think of a way to solve the problem without anyone getting upset. Feeling more focused, Sam returned to the sandcastle. He suggested that they all take turns choosing what part of the castle to build, so everyone would have a chance to contribute. The children agreed, and they worked together to complete their magnificent sand castle. The children were so proud of their sandcastle, and they all had fun working together to create it. They played in the sand and enjoyed the sunshine as their new friendship continued to grow stronger. After they finished playing, Sam sat down with Lily on the park bench. They talked about their day and how they had to work together to build the sandcastle. Lily told Sam that he was very kind for coming up with a solution to solve the argument, and that it showed his resilience. As the sun began to set, Sam and Lily walked home together. They made a promise to each other that they would meet at the park every day after school from now on. Sam felt happy knowing he had made a new friend who shared his love for adventure and kindness. That night, as Sam lay in bed thinking about his day, he realized that the most important lesson he had learned was to invite others to play and work together. He knew that being kind, patient, and resilient were crucial qualities for making and keeping friends. Sam smiled, knowing he had a bright future ahead of him, filled with many more adventures in the park.
Moral and life lessons: choose kind over cool. In the heart of Sunnyvale City, where the children loved to play, there lived a group of friends: Buzzy, Mia, Max, and Tilly. They were known for their boundless energy, shared laughter, and love for adventure. One sunny Tuesday, they found themselves in a dilemma when they discovered a treasure map buried deep beneath the sandbox. With hearts pounding and minds racing, they unfolded the ancient treasure map, revealing a series of clues and riddles that would lead them to hidden treasures. They hurried to their first destination, the swings, where they had to solve a math problem to uncover the next clue. At the swings, Buzzy suggested they add the number of clouds in the sky to the total number of swingers on the playset, but Mia wasn't sure that was the correct answer. Tilly chimed in with another idea while Max pondered silently. The friends debated back and forth, discussing their solutions and asking each other questions. They worked together until they finally reached an agreement. To find the total number of children playing on the swings, they would count their feet dangling in the air. With renewed energy, they moved on to their next destination, the teeter-totter, where they had to use teamwork to uncover the next clue. Buzzy, Mia, Max, and Tilly climbed onto opposite sides of the teeter-totter. As they leaned into their seats, they found themselves tipping back and forth, laughing as they struggled to keep their balance. Suddenly, the teeter-totter came to a halt, and they looked at each other expectantly. The clue was simple. When we all stand together, we can conquer anything. They knew that to uncover the next treasure map piece, they would have to stand hand in hand at the merry-go-round. As they ran towards the spinning attraction, they felt a sense of unity and excitement. At the merry-go-round, they held hands, feeling a sense of warmth and connection as they spun around together. As they laughed and sang, they noticed that the horses were also spinning in time with them. In a whirlwind of laughter and excitement, they searched high and low on the merry-go-round for the hidden treasure map piece. Suddenly, Mia spotted it, a small golden key tucked into the back seat of a spinning horse. With the golden key in hand, they returned to their clubhouse, where a small wooden treasure chest awaited them. They unlocked it and found a new clue, leading them to the final destination, the jungle gym. At the jungle gym, they encountered their greatest challenge yet, a series of obstacles that required problem-solving skills, resilience, and determination. They worked together to overcome each hurdle, cheering one another on with every success. When they reached the end of their incredible journey, they discovered a final message. Choose kind over cool. With tears in their eyes, they understood that being kind to one another was more important than striving for coolness. They left the playground as better friends and promised to always choose kindness over coolness.
Moral and life lessons. Be a respectful audience. In the heart of a lively town named Harmonyville, on a sunny Tuesday afternoon, the town square hummed with excitement. The children, clad in their best attires, sat cross-legged, their eyes wide with anticipation. The stage stood tall and proud, draped elegantly with colorful fabrics, waiting for the performers to appear. Suddenly, the stage door swung open, revealing a timid girl holding a violin and a shy boy balancing a juggling scarf. The audience hushed in respect as they took their places on stage. The girl began to play a soft, enchanting melody on her violin. The audience watched in awe as the boy juggled scarves effortlessly. They cheered with every successful toss and catch, their eyes sparkling with admiration. However, just as the rhythm of their performance was building, a boisterous boy jumped up from the audience and ran onto the stage, causing chaos. The performers froze in surprise. The audience reacted with a mixture of shock and frustration. Some scolded the disruptive boy loudly, while others tried to console him and help him return to his seat. The performers looked confused and disappointed. In a moment of kindness, the girl and boy decided to invite the disruptive boy onto the stage, hoping to turn this unfortunate interruption into an opportunity for unity and understanding. With gentle guidance, the boy learned to focus and cooperate with the performers. He listened intently as they taught him to juggle, his eyes shining with excitement and determination. The audience watched in amazement, their hearts filled with respect for this young boy's progress. The performers and the disruptive boy worked together beautifully, their movements synchronized like a well-rehearsed dance. The music swelled with emotion, and the audience clapped along with the beat, their spirits lifted by this incredible display of unity. As the performance came to a close, the entire town square joined hands, their voices echoing in applause for the performers. The girl, the boy, and the disruptive boy stood hand in hand, beaming with pride and joy. The disruptive boy was celebrated as a hero for his cooperation and patience, teaching everyone in Harmonyville the valuable lesson of resilient problem solving and the importance of being kind and patient with one another. The town square was filled with smiling faces, their hearts overflowing with kindness and understanding. From that day on, Harmonyville continued to grow stronger as a community, always remembering the important lesson they learned from the performance in the town square. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, the girl, the boy, and the disruptive child stood tall on a hill. They looked down at their friends and neighbors, their hearts filled with pride and gratitude for the lesson they had taught each other.
Moral and life lessons. Breathe before you react. In the heart of a peaceful village named Serenity Springs lived a young boy named Timmy. One sunny Tuesday morning, Timmy found a shiny golden coin in the park, but instead of sharing his discovery with his friends, he kept it hidden. Overwhelmed by greed, Timmy decided to spend the golden coin on a new toy without considering the consequences of his actions. As he played with his new purchase in front of his friends, he noticed that one of them looked sad. Curious, Timmy asked his friend why she looked so sad. She confided that her dog had run away the previous day, and she was too upset to play. Timmy felt a pang of guilt for keeping the golden coin to himself. Taking a deep breath, Timmy realized that he had a choice. He could either keep the golden coin or return it to help his friend find her lost dog. Recalling the lesson about kindness, he decided to do the right thing and share. Timmy approached his friend and handed her the golden coin, explaining that he had found it and wanted to help her find her lost dog. Touched by Timmy's kindness, she smiled through her tears of joy. Excitedly, they set off on their adventure to search for the missing dog. After a long and tiring journey, they found the dog hiding in plain sight near the village well. With the help of the golden coin, they were able to buy a delicious meal for the dog's owner to show their gratitude. The village celebrated their acts of kindness, and everyone learned the importance of sharing and helping others in need. From that day on, Timmy always took a moment to breathe before reacting to situations, knowing that kindness and honesty would guide him on his journey through life. Timmy learned that every decision he made could have an impact on others, and he vowed to always act with kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. The villagers cheered for their young hero, inspired by his actions. That night, the villagers gathered around a campfire and shared stories of kindness and unity. They all agreed that it was important to breathe before reacting in any situation, just like Timmy had done. As the villagers slept, they dreamt of future adventures filled with kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. They knew that with each breath, they could make a difference in the world. The moral of the story is that it's important to breathe before reacting in any situation. By taking a moment to think and consider our actions, we can make wise decisions that foster kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving in everyday life.
Moral and life lessons. Fair choices. Roll, pick, or trade. In the peaceful village of Kindlewood lived a curious girl named Miyataya. One Tuesday morning, she discovered 3 magical objects: a dice, a treasure chest, and a trading stone. Unbeknownst to her, these items held great power over fair choices. Mia was filled with excitement as she examined each item carefully. She rolled the dice and discovered 3 choices: roll, pick, or trade. She pondered each choice, knowing that whichever path she chose would have a lasting impact on her village. Mia ventured to the bustling Kindlewood marketplace.
She thought about the possible outcomes of each choice. Roll meant taking a chance, pick promised something hidden, and trade offered the potential for collaboration. She confided in her trusted friends, explaining her predicament. They offered advice, encouraging her to think about kindness and honesty in making her decision. As evening approached, Mia pondered her choices once more. She remembered the lessons she'd learned about responsibility and resilient problem-solving. With a determined look, she made her decision. With a quiet breath, Mia rolled the dice under the starry night sky. The village watched with bated breath as the result came to light. The next day, Mia went to work, putting her chosen path into action. The villagers watched, inspired by her determination and courage. Over time, Mia's choices proved to be wise. The village flourished under her leadership, and the villagers learned the importance of fair choices. As Mia grew older, she continued to make fair choices with kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving in mind. She knew that her decisions would always have a lasting impact on her community. Years later, as an elder in Kindlewood, Mia shared her story with the younger villagers. They listened intently, learning valuable lessons about making fair choices and being kind, honest, responsible, patient, and resilient problem solvers. The younger villagers absorbed the tale, taking it to heart as they made their own choices. They knew that, just like Mia, they too could make a positive impact on their community with fair choices, kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem solving. As the sun set over Kindlewood, the villagers continued to make fair choices with kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving in mind. They honored Mia's legacy, knowing that her story would live on forever.
Moral and life lessons. Check on friends who look down. In the quaint village of sunlit meadows lived a young girl named Lily and her friend Sam. One day, while exploring the forest, they stumbled upon a hidden treasure chest. Overjoyed, they decided to keep its contents secret from everyone, except for their mischievous friend Max, who often made fun of others. Back in sunlit meadows, Lily and Sam excitedly opened the chest, finding golden coins, precious gems, and other marvelous treasures. They spent the day sharing their newfound riches, making many friends happy. However, they felt Max's eyes on them, watching from a distance. The next day, they invited Max to join their treasure-hunting adventures, hoping he would learn the value of kindness. But Max only laughed, revealing their secret to the entire village, causing embarrassment and upset among their friends. The village was divided by Max's betrayal, with many questioning their friendship with him. Lily and Sam felt responsible for trusting someone unworthy. They realized they had made a mistake, but were determined to find a solution that would teach Max a valuable lesson without causing more harm. Lily and Sam spent many sleepless nights discussing ideas to help Max understand the importance of honesty. They knew they could not simply ignore his actions or punish him. Instead, they had to teach him a lesson through understanding and compassion. The following day, they presented their idea to the village elder. They would challenge Max to complete a series of tasks that required honesty, kindness, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. Max hesitated at first, but agreed to accept their challenge. The tasks were difficult, and Max struggled, but Lily and Sam stayed patient, encouraging him along the way. As the days passed, Max learned to be more honest, kind, responsible, patient, and resilient in solving problems. He eventually completed the tasks, feeling proud of himself for making amends. The villagers rejoiced as they welcomed back Max, who had learned the importance of honesty and kindness. They celebrated his transformation with songs and dances, symbolizing their renewed friendship and unity. Lily and Sam felt proud of themselves for teaching Max a valuable lesson about friendship and responsibility. They knew they had made a positive impact on the village, demonstrating that even mistakes can lead to growth and understanding
if approached with patience and compassion. From that day forward, the villagers lived in harmony, learning from one another's mistakes and celebrating each other's triumphs. The forest remained a symbol of growth and resilience, reminding everyone of the power of kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. The story of Lily, Sam, and Max serves as a reminder that our actions can have consequences, but with patience, compassion, and resilience, we can learn from our mistakes and grow stronger. By practicing kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and problem-solving skills, we create a brighter future for ourselves and those around us.
Moral and life lessons. Growth mindset. Yet, not never. On a sunny Tuesday morning, in the verdant greenwood forest, a group of young friends met beneath an ancient oak. Lila, the bookworm; Timmy, the timid boy; Zara, the zestful girl with a heart as bright as the sun; Max, the muscular athlete; Sophia, the sensitive artist; and Benny, the boisterous joker, gathered around the tree's massive roots. The wise old oak, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and resilience, stood tall and spoke to them. The ancient oak began, once upon a time, in this very forest, there was a young sparrow named Peepo, born with strong wings but no idea of flight. The children listened intently as the old tree spun a tale about Peepo's journey to learn how to fly. Peepo tried flapping her wings but fell to the ground, her feathers ruffled and heart pounding. "I will never fly," she cried, tears streaming down her beak. The old oak comforted her, reminding Peepo that it was okay to make mistakes as long as she learned from them. Peepo's friends and family rallied together to teach her how to fly, each offering guidance and encouragement. They reminded her that failure was a natural part of the learning process, and that she must persevere. Day by day, Peepo practiced flying, slowly building up her strength and confidence. She stumbled, she fell, but each time, she rose again, determined to take flight. One day, Peepo's persistence paid off as she took her first flight. A friendly rabbit named Remy hopped up beside her, offering his support. With a leap of faith, Peepo spread her wings wide and soared through the skies. The forest erupted in cheers as Peepo took to the skies. Her friends and family gathered to celebrate her accomplishment, reminding her that with patience, determination, and resilience, she could achieve anything she set her mind to. As the sun began to set, Peepo gathered her friends around the old oak once more. "I never thought I could fly," she admitted with a smile. The old oak nodded wisely. "But you didn't give up, and that's what matters most." "We all face challenges in life," said Zara, her eyes sparkling with determination. "But if we practice kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving, we can overcome anything." Together, the friends vowed to support one another on their individual growth journeys, promising to celebrate each other's successes and learn from one another's struggles. With hearts full of newfound wisdom and a renewed sense of purpose, the friends left the enchanted forest, each carrying the lessons of growth mindset in their hearts. They knew that they would face challenges, but with a positive attitude and resilient spirit, they could conquer anything. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the friends huddled together under the old oak tree, their faces reflecting the love and support they shared. They knew that, with patience, determination, and resilience, they could face any challenge life brought their way.
Morale and life lessons. Clean up, even if no one asks. In the heart of a lively town named Harmonyville lived a young boy named Timmy. Every Tuesday, he looked forward to school not just for lessons, but because it meant learning life lessons too. This particular Tuesday, Mr. Johnson announced that they'd be discussing kindness and responsibility. Timmy trudged home through the pouring rain, his head hung low. In class, they spoke of a boy named Jimmy, who never helped clean up, making life hard for everyone else. Timmy couldn't shake off the thought. What if he was Jimmy? Reaching home, Timmy discovered his room was a disaster. Papers scattered everywhere, toys strewn about. He sighed and decided to clean up, hoping to prove himself kinder than Jimmy. Determined to finish before dinner, Timmy began sorting papers, putting toys back in their places. Each item seemed heavier than the last, but he persevered. On. Lisa, his neighbor, happened to drop by. Seeing Timmy work tirelessly, she asked if she could help. Timmy gladly accepted her help, appreciating the effort. Together, they worked swiftly, their hands moving like a well-oiled machine. They laughed, sharing stories as they cleaned, making the task feel less tedious. Finally, they finished, just as the sun set. The room was cleaner than ever before, and they felt a sense of accomplishment that only hard work could bring. They sat down for a warm dinner, enjoying the freshly cleaned living room. They shared stories about their days, bonding over their act of kindness. Timmy went to bed that night, feeling satisfied and proud of his actions. He knew he hadn't done this for praise, but because it was the right thing to do. The next morning, he woke up early to see Lisa outside. She was cleaning the park, her effort clearly showing that she too had learned something from their shared experience. Timmy joined Lisa in cleaning the park, urging other children to help too. They worked together, spreading kindness and responsibility throughout Harmonyville. And so, the tale of Timmy teaches us all a valuable lesson: to be kind, responsible, patient, and resilient in problem solving. It may not always be easy, but the rewards are worth it.
Moral and life lessons. Patience in the snack line. In a lively schoolyard, amidst a sea of laughing children, stood the longest line anyone had ever seen, the snack line. Each child, patiently awaiting their turn, chatted excitedly about the tasty treats that lay at the end. But for one little mouse named Millie, standing in line was more than just waiting for a snack. Millie, a small but determined little mouse, stood anxiously near the front of the snack line. With her paws folded nervously over her tiny school shirt, she looked up at her friends, who were giggling and chatting happily around her. Suddenly, the teacher's voice boomed across the schoolyard, reminding everyone of the new rule. Every child must share their snack with another student when they reach the front of the line. Millie felt her heart sink as she looked down at her empty pockets. Millie's shoulders drooped as she realized that, without a snack to share, she would not be able to follow the new rule. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she felt a wave of disappointment wash over her. "What am I going to do?" she whispered sadly to herself. As she stared dejectedly at the line in front of her, Millie felt a gentle tap on her shoulder. She turned around to see her friend Oliver, a big and kind elephant, standing beside her with a bag of treats in his trunk. "Here," he said softly, offering half of his snack to Millie. Millie's eyes widened as she looked at the delicious snack that Oliver had offered her. For a moment, she hesitated, not wanting to give away her only treat. But then she remembered the new rule and the importance of sharing with others. With a smile on her face, she reached out and took half of Oliver's snack. As she reached the front of the line, Millie's new friend, a little rabbit named Remy, was waiting for her. With a grateful nod, Millie shared her half of Oliver's snack with Remy. Together, they enjoyed their treats as they waited for the rest of the children to finish. When the last child finally received their treat, the teacher clapped her hands together happily. "What a wonderful example of kindness and sharing I have seen today," she exclaimed. In honor of the children's thoughtful actions, she announced that they would all be rewarded with an extra recess. The children cheered with joy as they ran off to enjoy their extra recess. They played games, chased each other around the playground, and simply enjoyed being together in a happy and carefree environment. As the day came to an end, Millie felt a sense of peace wash over her. She realized that even though she had started out feeling disappointed, she had managed to make a positive impact on those around her. She smiled to herself, knowing that she would remember this lesson for the rest of her days. As the sun began to set over the schoolyard, Millie stood tall and confident. She knew that she could handle whatever challenges came her way, as long as she kept her heart open to others and practiced kindness in everything she did. In that schoolyard, under the watchful eyes of their teacher, Millie, Oliver, Remy, and the rest of their friends learned a valuable lesson about kindness. They saw firsthand how even the smallest act of sharing could make a big difference in someone's day, and they knew that they would carry this lesson with them wherever they went.
Moral and life lessons. Safety first, even during fun. In a vibrant town lived friendly Tommy, a 7-year-old boy always eager for fun. One Tuesday morning, he excitedly rushed to the local playground with his friends, ready to enjoy the sunshine and laughter. Tommy and his friends eagerly played on the jungle gym, sliding down the slide and swinging on swings. Suddenly, Tommy, caught up in his excitement, forgot about safety first. As he climbed the monkey bars, Tommy's grip slipped, and he fell off. The playground quieted as everyone watched in horror, hoping that Tommy was okay. With a scraped knee, Tommy was shaken, but all right. The caring friends rushed to his side, helping him up while a responsible adult came over to check if he was hurt. Tommy realized that he had been careless. He listened intently as the kind adult shared the importance of always putting safety first, even when having fun. Feeling grateful for his friend's concern, Tommy apologized for his careless actions. He looked around at his friends, determined to learn from this mistake and always prioritize safety first. Later that day, Tommy was back on the playground, this time paying extra attention to safety as he played with his friends. They all had a blast, knowing they were taking care of each other and having fun responsibly. The friends decided to learn a new game together. They worked as a team, communicating and helping one another. Safety was always their top priority, and they had a wonderful time playing and growing closer as friends. As the day came to an end, the friends hugged one another tightly. They had learned a valuable lesson about safety first, even during fun. Their bond was stronger than ever, and they could not wait for tomorrow's adventure. That night, as Tommy lay in bed, he reflected on the day's events. He was grateful for the lessons learned and the friendships deepened. With a heart full of kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving, Tommy drifted off to sleep, eager for more adventures. The next morning, a brand new day greeted Tommy with its warm sunlight. He skipped to the playground, eager to practice safety first and have fun with his friends. With smiles on their faces, they approached the jungle gym, ready for whatever adventures awaited them. Through their experiences, Tommy and his friends learned the importance of safety first, even during fun. They practiced kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving, strengthening their bond and making unforgettable memories together.
Moral and life lessons. Thank you, Notes for Helpers. In a peaceful village called Harmony Town, nestled between green hills and a sparkling river, lived various creatures: rabbits, birds, squirrels, and even friendly giants. They all helped each other in any way they could, making it a harmonious place to live. One sunny morning, a young rabbit named Timmy woke up to find that he couldn't remember where his favorite notebook was. He searched all over his burrow, but it was nowhere to be found. It was nowhere to be found. With worry gnawing him, he remembered that it had been a gift from his dear friend Olive, the owl. Feeling sad and helpless, Timmy wandered around the village asking others if they'd seen it. Most of the creatures had never even met him before, but they listened sympathetically and offered their assistance. The villagers were always ready to help a friend in need. Finally, he reached Olive's home and shared his concern. With a kind smile, she listened carefully before suggesting that they both write thank you notes to those who had helped them throughout their lives. "It's the perfect way to express our gratitude," she said. Excited by the idea, they sat down to write together. They listed all the creatures who had been kind to them and wrote heartfelt messages expressing their appreciation. When they were done, they shared their gratitude.
Life Lessons, Rules Guide, Not Just Stop. In the heart of a bustling city lived a young, kind-hearted boy named Timmy. One day, he noticed an old woman struggling with heavy grocery bags. Without hesitation, he rushed to help her. The kind act caught the attention of a friendly squirrel who rewarded him with a shiny golden acorn. Timmy was confused but grateful for this mysterious gift. That night, Timmy dreamt of a wise owl who told him that the golden acorn was not just a treasure, but a magical guide to life's rules. The owl taught Timmy about kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. Each lesson had a real-life scenario where the golden acorn glowed brightly as a reminder of its importance. At school, Timmy struggled to concentrate because he was preoccupied with the lessons from the golden acorn. He decided to take action and follow these rules in his daily life. One day at recess, Timmy saw a new student who looked lonely and sad. Without thinking twice, he offered to share his toys with the new boy. The golden acorn glowed brightly in appreciation of Timmy's kind act. On another occasion, Timmy found a lost wallet on the playground. He knew it wasn't his and decided to return it to its rightful owner, showcasing his honesty. When he came across an injured bird, he took it upon himself to nurse it back to health until the bird's owner could be found. This showed his responsibility and compassion. One day at the playground, there was a long line for the swings. Instead of cutting in front, Timmy waited his turn, demonstrating patience and respect. When a classmate was struggling with her math homework, Timmy offered to help. Together they worked through the problem, showcasing resilient problem-solving skills. When he accidentally broke his teacher's favorite vase, Timmy admitted his mistake and apologized sincerely, learning the importance of honesty and taking responsibility for one's actions. As Timmy continued to practice kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving in everyday life, the golden acorn continued to glow brightly, serving as a constant reminder of his life lessons. As the school year drew to a close, Timmy decided to share the story of the golden acorn with his new friend. Together, they embarked on their own journey to live by these important life rules. In the end, the magical golden acorn had taught Timmy and his friend valuable lessons about kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. As they continued to practice these life rules, they learned that their actions could make a difference in the world around them.
Moral and life lessons: clap for others wins. In the heart of Sunnyville, where every day was filled with laughter and learning, lived little Alex. One Tuesday morning, Alex woke up with a spring in her step, as she knew it was Moral and Life Lessons Day. She hurriedly dressed, grabbing her favorite red hat on the way out. As she entered Sunnyville School, Alex found herself in Miss Amelia's classroom. Today, they would discuss clap for others wins. The room buzzed with excitement as each child shared their stories about being kind, honest, responsible,
patient, and resilient. During recess, Alex saw her friend Sarah, looking sad. She asked what was wrong, and Sarah shared that she had forgotten to hand in her homework. Seeing this as an opportunity to practice kindness, Alex offered to help her find the missing assignment. Together, they sifted through the books until they found the missing homework. Alex then helped her friend complete it before handing it in to Miss Amelia at the last bell. The following day, Miss Amelia called on both Alex and Sarah to share what they had learned about helping each other. The class cheered as they explained their problem-solving skills and the importance of kindness. Throughout the week, Alex continued to practice kindness by helping her classmates and neighbors whenever she could. She soon realized that helping others made her feel good inside. One afternoon, while trying to clean her room, Alex found herself stuck. She felt overwhelmed by the amount of work in front of her. In that moment, she remembered what she had learned about resilience and problem-solving. She broke down the task into smaller, manageable parts and worked diligently. With determination in her heart, Alex eventually completed her chores, earning claps from her family and feeling proud of herself. At the end of the week, Miss Amelia's class gathered to share their successes and struggles. Each child had learned something new about being kind, honest, responsible, patient, and resilient. They all felt proud of themselves and inspired by each other. Alex shared her experience of helping Sarah with the missing homework and overcoming her struggles with cleaning her room. Her classmates cheered for her determination and kindness, clapping in appreciation. As the week came to an end, Alex realized that she was looking forward to the next moral and life lessons day. She knew that there would always be new opportunities to practice kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving in everyday life. The children had learned that helping others, practicing kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving were essential skills for living happily. They looked forward to continuing their journey of personal growth together.
Moral and life lessons: care for the planet nearby. Once upon a time, near the edge of a magical forest called Grenwood, lay a small village named Harmony. Each day, the sun painted the sky with hues of gold as children from Harmony walked through the woods to attend the enchanted school in Greenwood. One Tuesday, at the enchanted school, their wise old teacher, Miss Meadows, stood before her students. She spoke of a recent problem affecting Grenwood. The forest's once bountiful fruit trees were no longer bearing fruit due to pollution from Harmony. The children were shocked to learn the truth. They loved spending time in Grenwood and knew something had to be done. After a moment's thought, they decided to take action. The children gathered around, sharing their thoughts on how to clean up Harmony and save the forest's fruit trees. After much debate, they agreed to create a petition asking the villagers of Harmony to reduce waste and recycle more. Armed with their petition and determination, the children ventured into Harmony. They explained the problem to the villagers, asking for their help. Many were hesitant at first, but eventually signed the petition. Inspired by the children's passion, more and more villagers came together to clean Harmony. They worked tirelessly, collecting trash and recyclables. After many weeks of hard work, the villagers noticed something wonderful. The fruit trees in Greenwood were beginning to bear fruit again. The children danced with joy, knowing they had made a difference. To celebrate their success, the villagers held a grand feast using ingredients from the now bountiful fruit trees of Grenwood. The children joined hands with the villagers, grateful for their newfound friendship and pride in what they had achieved together. As the sun set over Harmony, the children sat by a crackling campfire, lost in thought. They had learned valuable lessons about kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving. Looking ahead, the children knew they would face challenges, but they felt more prepared than ever before. They realized that by working together and using their unique abilities, they could overcome anything. Now, the children returned to their homes, ready to spread the word about caring for the planet and helping others. They knew that together, they could make a difference and create a better world for all. The lesson from this tale is simple yet powerful. By working together and caring for the world around us, we can overcome challenges and create a brighter future. May you always remember the spirit of kindness, honesty, responsibility, patience, and resilient problem-solving when faced with difficulties in your own life.
Moral and life lessons use an I feel message. In the heart of a lively town named Harmonyville lived 6-year-old Timmy, who felt misunderstood by everyone around him. One sunny Tuesday, while playing with his friends, he accidentally broke a treasured vase in Mr. Johnson's flower shop. Timmy's heart raced as he timidly entered Mr. Johnson's flower shop, clutching the broken vase in his shaking hands. His eyes filled with guilt, he stammered out an apology, hoping for forgiveness. To his surprise, Mr. Johnson didn't shout or scold him. Instead, he looked at Timmy with a softened expression and said, "Timmy, I feel sad because my vase is broken." Timmy listened attentively as Mr. Johnson explained how the vase reminded him of a precious memory from his grandmother. His eyes welled up with tears.